As you might expect, our culture has a significant impact on the way that we experience and express our emotions. Though there are some universal similarities across cultures in the expression of our emotions, the triggers for the emotions that we feel and the norms for displaying those emotions vary widely. And each culture has its own display rules. These display rules are social cultural norms that influence the expression of emotion. And generally speaking, we can look at these display rules in individualistic cultures and collectivistic cultures. Let's take a look first at who can express emotions. These display rules dictate who can express these emotions. And in more individualistic cultures, expressing emotions is viewed as a personal right. So the outward expression of our inner states might even be exaggerated in order to get attention as an individual within this society. In more collectivistic cultures, on the other hand, emotions tend to be viewed as being more interactional than individual. And the emotions that we are feeling often are seen as being reflective on our family or our cultural group. And therefore, our emotional displays tend to be more controlled than they would be in an individualistic culture. In addition, there are cultural rules about which types of emotions can be expressed. In more individualistic societies, the cultural expectation is that people will exhibit positive emotions. Therefore, people will seek out happy situations and communicate positive emotions, even when they do not necessarily feel those positive emotions. It's that moment when you walk up to someone and ask them how they're doing and they respond that they are good or great or fine. And all of those are either neutral or positive neutral expressions of emotions that we might not be genuinely feeling. In more collectivistic cultures, however, they view expressions of positive emotions much more negatively than people in individualistic cultures do. When an individual is expressing a positive emotion, collectivists see this as someone bringing undue attention on themselves, and that emotion could potentially upset group harmony and possibly even elicit jealous reactions from others. Now, in addition to dictating who can express emotions and which emotions can be expressed, these display rules also dictate how intense the expressions can be. And this is especially true when it comes to expressions of grief. These expressions of grief within different cultures are often tied to religious and social expectations. For example, at Thai and Filipino funeral services, there is this ritualistic wailing that happens in order for loved ones to express their grief about the loss of their significant other. In Latino cultures, on the other hand, there's this idea of machismo and manliness, where men are not expected to or even allowed to cry. Even within the United States, there are very gendered expectations regarding grieving behaviors that lead some men to withhold emotional displays such as crying, even at funerals, for example. And so these display rules within our cultures have really powerful influences over the ways that we express our emotions within social interactions.